Okay, folks, Vivian, we have gone from Death Valley to Spanish Club. Okay, so now we're in Spanish Club, and it says at the beginning of the month, your Spanish Club's treasury had a balance of $65. So they had $65. By the end of the month, the balance was negative $25. So they spent some money and they borrowed some, right? Okay. What do you think the negative balance means? I may have already answered that. But what do you think the negative balance means? Raise your hand. I've talked to a lot, or I'll call on someone. Why don't I call on someone? Bailey, what do you think this negative balance means? It means what they spent that they didn't have. That's true. That's true. But what would we call a negative balance? What do we call that? Well, they had to borrow it to spend it. But you know what we might call it? We might call it debt. It's how much they owe. How much they owe. So they're going to have to collect some dues to pay that money back. They may have borrowed it from the school or their sponsor, right? Okay. Now, number 2 says, what is the difference, I want to talk about that word, between these two balances? Explain your answer in a sentence. Okay. What does the word difference mean in math? What does that mean in math, Elise? The answer to a subtraction problem. So I'm going to write a subtraction problem. Where did we begin with the Spanish Club? Vivian? $65. They want to know what the difference is between the two balances. Well, that's the first balance. David, what's the second balance? Negative 25. Okay. Now, how do I do this problem? Do you want me to use a number line for this? No. What happens here, Jenna? You turn the two negative signs into a plus sign. So now you've got 65 plus 25. Can anyone do that in their head? It looks like Jenna can, Vivian can, Daniel can, Emma can, Evan, Bailey, whatever her name is, Barrett. I'm kidding. Evan, what is that?
90.
It's $90. But what does that $90 mean? What did that mean? The first balance was 65. The second balance was negative 25. Their difference is $90. What is that $90? What do you think, Elise? They spent $90. They spent all the money they had, plus $25 more that they didn't have. They borrowed from someone. Okay, so $90 spent. How's that? Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Dan? Good. You guys are ready for your homework. Please take it out and get started.